as clumsy or random as a blaster. Before the dark times, before the Empire.
There's no way Dive Rite weren't thinking about Star Wars when they made this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Divers Ready. My name's James. As always, so great to see all of your smiling faces. We are back with yet another dive gear review, this time taking a close look at the Dive Rite CX2 Dive Light. I'm going to be going over things I love about this light and why it has come with me on every single dive I've done since receiving it. I'm going to talk about things that I didn't care for or would hope will be improved in future iterations of this light. And I'm going to tell you who I think this light is best suited for. As you can see, I have given this light a good battering. It is well worn. I probably have about 350 dives to date with this light. I've used it as a primary, I've used it as a backup, I've used it to teach advanced rec diving classes with. Let's go. All right, starting with the positives. Super flexible. I have it bolt snapped off, as you can see. I use it as a backup light predominantly, clipped off onto one of my D-rings, but it comes ready with the mounting holes for Dive Rite's QRM, so you could wrist mount this light as you choose, and it's bright enough and powerful enough to be used as a primary light. Speaking of which, quality of the beam. 1700 lumens in a tight 8-degree beam angle is plenty good for the recreational rec or cavern diver. It is lightsaber bright, but at the same time really sharp, really focused, so it's absolutely ideal for signaling in the dark. From the power point of view, I've probably got about 2.5 hours of burn time from a single charge using the light on the highest power setting. More than enough for a full day of diving. I love that this light is USB-C chargeable and that it has a sealed body design, in fact a double cap, double O-ring system on the end, which greatly reduces the chance of it flooding. Also, the color LED on the switch indicates how much battery is remaining, which is a very important feature for me, knowing or being able to predict when your light is going to run out of juice. Very useful. The build quality is absolutely solid. The grip texture is fantastic. If you're using dry gloves, you'll have no problem with this light at all. I like the weight of it. I like the feel. It all feels very rugged, very sturdy. This is something I admire across all of Dive Rite's products. Being something of an oven engineer myself, yeah, I have dropped this light. I have thrown it in my gear bag, I've abused it, I'm very rough on my gear, nothing has happened to this light, it is solid. Another feature that I love about this light is the strobe functionality. This for me is absolutely essential for any light I get in the water with. I personally know someone who was only rescued because the search plane saw her strobe light. So I carry at least one light on every dive, and that light, if I'm only carrying one light on an open water dive, it needs to have a strobe function. The strobe duration for the CX2 is an impressive 10 hours. Or to put that another way, it's one night of you drifting alone on the dark ocean. So that's everything I love about this light. What would I hope would be improved in future iterations? Well, the first thing I would like is some way to lock the light in the off position. The button is kind of exposed. It's actually slightly higher profile than the barrel of the light itself. Now, I normally transport my gear in a hard-sided crate. We made a video about that, which I'll link up above there, with my light clipped off to a D-ring on the side of the crate. So there is little chance of it accidentally being turned on and the battery draining while I'm on my way to the dive site. But if you're one of those divers who likes to dump all their gear into a soft gear bag, I could easily see this light being turned on by accident, and then you get there and the battery's dead, and that's suboptimal, let's be honest, okay? Now, the CX2 does come with a very nice zippable neoprene pouch that should prevent, obviously, accidental button pushes, but you'd need to use the pouch, which I'm not a big fan. I don't generally do that very often, which is also why mine's kind of dinged up. Yeah, it is what it is. You can just about fit it in the pouch with the bolt snap attached, but I don't think you could fit a hard or soft Goodman handle into that case. Like I said, I am pretty tough on my gear, but to be honest, the finish of this light started to wear almost immediately. I don't mind that, to be honest. I quite like the patina offered by the sort of wear and tear on it, and the sort of aging that this kind of you know, solid metal with the coating kind of gives to something. I like the look of that, but if you're one of those divers that likes everything to look new and stay looking shiny and new, you'll be hoping for a harder finish in future iterations of this light. Last thing on the constructive side is I did actually have someone email me who had purchased this light and had trouble keeping the bolt snap attached because they were tying it onto the side loop here of the actual battery cap on the housing, and were saying that the edges were so sharp it was actually fraying their cavern knot. I personally haven't experienced that, and I've got my cavern knot going through a center loop in the middle of the light cap, so just something that if you are attaching your bolt snap to the outside there, you should be aware of. You could always just soften the edge down with a little bit of emery paper. It wouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so who is this light best suited for? As you guys know, if you're regular viewers of this channel, I have a buy once, cry once policy when it comes to dive gear. I like to buy premium dive gear with the expectation that that gear is going to last me a very long time. Not that this light is particularly expensive when compared to other lights on the market with similar power and features. It's actually quite reasonably priced. Link in the description below for you to check out the price. But for me, build quality and just, yeah, seal body design, durability win the day. So if I was a newly certified open water diver looking to buy my first light to get into wreck diving or night diving or cavern diving, this is a fantastic option. But then as you grow as a diver, this light is going to stay with you. And even at the top end, if you're out doing crazy expedition technical dives and you've progressed to a 1,000,000 lumen canister light with 14 days of battery life and, you know, insane brightness and beam angle and all this kind of stuff, this is still an excellent option as your emergency or backup dive light. Highly recommended for that. So I'm going to keep this piece of kit in my gear setup for years to come, and you pretty much can too. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already and you feel like helping this channel out. It really does help us to keep making videos. And let me know in the comments below, have you used the CX2? Is it something you're thinking about purchasing? I love the interaction as always. Don't forget to share this video with your dive buddy if you found it useful. Give it the old thumbs up, really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next video. Dive safe, dive often.